Okay, so first thing first, you guys followed on. Let's see. Can we check the YouTube video? Check that one for me. Does that work? Does it work? The video? Okay. So first thing first, what is Tableau? So, and why do we need Tableau? Or why do we need to learn Tableau? What is Tableau? I know some people have used it. So it's a data visualization software, right? What does data visualization mean? Storytelling, right? Telling what you're saying, how the data is structured in a much efficient way. Why do we need Tableau and why don't we have to use D3? I mean, why is Tableau better or effective than other things that we have? Any ideas why? Simplified efforts, right? Streamlined efforts. So streamlined, right? What do you mean by streamlined effort? So, right now you can do this with D3 also. There is no problem doing it with D3, Plotly, all of that. But this is simplified because you get only certain number of visualizations that are maintained properly, that work efficiently. If you have any issues, you can call some company and they will give you and it's an enterprise software, right? What are the other softwares, right? So Tableau was established, I don't know when, but they are headquartered, January 2003. So relatively New York product. I mean, January was founded in 2003. It really wasn't effective until, I would say, 2011. Didn't really pick up. But with Tableau, the other tools that you see out in the market are Microsoft. So the competition is from Microsoft Power BI. Same thing, Power BI. Then there is ClickView or Click Softwares. So if you look at the competition, Click, this is the competition. Click, Looker, and TIBCO Software. So you will hear these names. So almost, I will say, these are the top players. And now there's a new company called ThoughtSpot. So you should ThoughtSpot. So these are like 5 competitors to Tableau that deal with enterprise visualization. And I would say, if you look at ThoughtSpot, that's Google-like visualization. So basically what that means is you go and you type in, give me my sales by territory. And ThoughtSpot has the same algorithm that Google has, which is PageRank. And it will go and will find most used visualizations for that and will figure that stuff out. Basically, this product is taken on everyone and trying to replace the need for data visualization. Okay. So, just saying.
Recently, the same feature Tableau added.
Yeah, yes. And so, exactly. You're absolutely right. I was going to talk about that. Starting to 2019-01 version, Tableau has also added NLP, natural language processing. So basically, they are also trying to add a feature where you can just go and type, say, give me my sales by, and then it will, like a Google query, go and do it. So that's very concerning, of course, because if you're going to learn Tableau and Tableau is going to get you out of the business by not having to need you. So what would remain then? Creation of data sources, right? Curated data sources will then. So that is recent because ThoughtSpot is killing competition by releasing that product. Microsoft Power BI is also very, very, very well adopted because it's Excel-based. It's like same thing, right? Power Pivots or Power Queries, all the stuff. So always good to know that these are the competition. So, but if you learn Tableau, I'll tell you that you can almost apply to any of these positions also. All of them offer free downloads. So this is a philosophy that you need to learn. This is not a like how do you do this is what you need to learn. So this same approach will be there. In Power BI, you will be same thing. You will be connecting to the data source, whether it's D3, whether it's JavaScript or anything. You're first going to connect to the data source, get the data pulled in, massage or clear the data, right? And do some kind of transformation on data, create aggregate information and stuff. And then final step is visualization. Same thing. We're doing the same thing in Tableau. It just makes it drag and drop easy, right? So that's Tableau. Tableau has other products, right? So I'll write in blue here. So that's a visualization software. Now, can people from here see what's the difference? Okay. So Tableau has Tableau Prep, right? Tableau Prep. As the name suggests, Tableau Prep is to prepare the data, right? As I said, there are key steps in doing anything. One is connecting to the data, getting the data. Tableau can directly connect to the data, but most of the times you don't have everything aggregated, everything cleansed to do the visualization. Tableau Prep will help with that. Okay, it's just another way of is a graphical user interface. So it's a very drag and drop kind of style. People love it. That if somebody hates syntax here, raise your hand. Exactly. Right, and so if you hate syntax, you don't want to write anything, you're going to love Tableau. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to introduce Tableau early, before we finish the product. Because with Tableau, you can start preparing, and I'm going to show you certain things that you should do in the next 5 weeks or so, where I think you can really make yourself valuable. A lot of companies in San Diego, San Francisco, everywhere really use these products. Meaning I would say 90% of the companies. You take a name out, they use one of these 5 products. Right? If you learn this, you're almost covering 90% of the companies as a data analyst, business analyst, or business intelligence developer kind of positions. You're covered. Okay. So if you hated coding so far, finally we have brought you to a point where this is your time now, and I want everybody to get excited about this. I personally have been working on Tableau for last 6 years, not hands-on, not anymore, but I mean, it's such an easy tool. I've seen like various executives use it without any problem. So if you have that mindset, it was very important for us to learn the syntax, learn the whole thing before you could just like go do this. And so that's not a wasted effort. A lot of forecasting models and stuff in Tableau also. Very well-paid profession. Okay, so I want you guys to take this really seriously, get certified. So let's move on to. So if you go to Tableau, Tableau has, of course, led the way by doing what they did. They have a very, very, very good community. Okay, what do you mean by community? If you ever have any question that you can't figure out in Tableau, if you post that on Tableau's community portal. So I'm just logging through my work stuff. If I go to community, you'll see a lot of people will also get answers, right? So community forums and users. Wait, just. So if you go to their forums, and you have 100, and they say that you have 150,000 users. And so if you wanted to see calculated field, right? Say calculated field. There you go. We'll go search who has plotted that numeric calculated field using string values. So people go in here and people say, okay, I'm creating a calculated field like this, and I'm not able to do it. There you go. Somebody will go and answer your question within, like, if you posted this on February 19, 27 a.m., this guy had an answer by 8:33 a.m. It took someone to answer this 4 minutes, right? So literally people are constantly on this and helping people find answers to it, right? So 8:34 a.m., right? 8:30. So you post a question, but I want you to be a little bit more smart about this. And, don't, if you ever get a job and you have proprietary data, don't post your Tableau workbook and proprietary data on the forum, get you in trouble. So just make sure that before you ask a question, you create an example like this. Basically, this guy is asking smart questions, right? Because he's not telling you what company he worked for. He's saying, hey, for example, I have company ABC, PQR, AAA, and the start stage and then end stage, and then how can I do this? Right? So just be careful about that. I have seen on these forums some new professional users are like posting, and then community guys will tell you like, hey, dude, take this thing off because you're posting your company's Coca-Cola's information here on Tableau stuff, right? So just make sure that you don't do that. So community is very, very, very active. Okay, next thing I want to draw your attention to is free training. Okay, I'm not going to be able to give you everything that is done in Tableau. However, I want you guys, when you go home or whatever next 2 weeks, these are bite-sized videos, right? And literally skip Tableau prep. If you don't have to skip Tableau prep, but go here and start these trainings, right? So 34 minutes, 67 minutes. Let's say you do it another 62 minutes. At the end of the day, it is not more than 8 hours of work. Okay, so within 8 hours, you will know everything that you need to know in Tableau. 8 hours, okay? If you really sit down. Of course, I don't want you to, and you don't have to do Tableau server. You can do all of the other things. So within 8 hours, you're done. Okay. So please finish these trainings. Okay. And what else? So you have that community. I gave you some resources on your instructor resources page. So if you go here, so this is also learning. So this Tableau Learn will take you the same place. So Tableau Learning is going to take you to these free training videos, all training videos. So you go here and same page, go finish all of this. There is also Tableau has on-demand webinars, okay, and live training, okay. So I think every Monday or something they have Tableau Mondays, and so what that means is you can go and get some more information there. But this is not a step that you should miss, okay? Absolutely not a step that you should miss. This you need to finish if you want to work really well with Tableau. It takes 8 hours, spread it across a week, however you want to do it, 8 days, 1 hour each, it will be done, okay? So that's that. And then I've also given you a link. So typically this certification is $250. I don't remember what the latest is, but this one, Desktop 1 certification, is $75.
What is the promo code for it?
When you actually try to register,
This one?
Yeah, it's asking for a promo code. Doesn't
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll try to find out, because for students, it should be, I'll send them an email. It's typically, well, before June 30th, right? So let's see. Yeah, I'll figure this out, but it's either, so Desktop 1 is $100, you will get 75 for. Have you signed up for Desktop 2? Maybe that's what you signed up for, right? Yeah, Desktop 2. So these are the 3 levels of certification. Desktop 1, it says 3+ months of experience. If you're smart and you've done this class, that means you're smart. So you survived.
Is that 8 hours? Can that 8 hours be a replacement for the 3 months?
It can be if you practice a little bit better. Desktop 1 is really possible to get it done. Okay, so it's not difficult. I wouldn't say 8 hours is enough. I would say give it 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like don't waste your $100 unless you just have something. So then Desktop 2, which says 5+ months of experience. But so I would say with your project, when you do the final project, use some piece of Tableau in it. And if you can do it, then you're done. You're ready for desktop 1. So by the end of this course, I'm hoping at least 5 or 10 people are certified. You might surprise me in all 27 of you are certified in desktop 1. Okay. Desktop 2 certification. This is very valued, qualified associate, right? Very, very, very valued. Okay. So, it's valid for 2 years. So I think you need maybe 3 months of experience. It says 5. But if you ever get a chance to work with something, definitely get desktop 2. This one, certified professional, I think it's actually really advanced and really, really good as well. Like if you came to me and said, I'm desktop certified professional on Tableau, you have I think it's like an 8-hour, 4 or 5-hour exam with like people actually grading your visualization. So there are people that actually sit down and grade your visualization and see if you're built it. Okay. If you have these 3 certifications, I think you are very good to enter a workforce that eventually will get you not just technical knowledge, but also business knowledge, because you will be working with business users a lot and trying to figure this out. Okay, so I highly recommend this. If you
What is
get,
the average salary of people who have a desktop certified professional?
I don't know, in San Diego, it can go from 80K to 110K sometimes if you're professional certified. So average would be what, 80 and 110, 95, maybe 95. Yeah. But again, remember that, in data science, you don't get paid just for your technical skills. You get paid for your business acumen and business critical thinking and making sure that, and also which company you're looking for, what kind of work you're doing, and all of that counts. So you don't just need to have Tableau certification. You need to know how to talk business language, how to maybe manage a project, how to manage. And then there is a track where you become an architect, which means like, you're not just going and creating visualizations. You're basically thinking how the whole system should work, where to fetch the data from, and then you start advancing closer to like 150K, and then you manage five or six people under you. Then you become next level, and you manage the whole program, and then that's the next level, or a product or something like that. So I don't think, if you enjoy doing no coding and like this is the way to go. I would say that there are calculated fields, level of detail calculations that require coding. But it's like Excel formulas, like knowing how to write Excel formulas, VLOOKUPs and stuff, so that tax queries, stuff like that. Okay. So Tableau certification, I really want to see at least 10 of you get this time. Yeah. Yeah, people do that all the time. People do.
Don't say like if they ask you have 2 years, be like, just let the work that you do on there speak for yourself. You don't. They say you need to have like so much experience, how many months. Don't even respond to that. Just say, yeah, sure, I have 5+ experience.
Yeah.
If you can pass that, you deserve to say you've got plenty of experience.
Yeah. Second one is I don't see many people failing the second one either, but I've seen people fail this one. They have lost their $600. I'll tell you. The reason why they fail it is because Tableau wants to do a visualization in a certain way. If you don't do it that way, the graders are going and evaluating. So when I used to manage a team of consultants, they would fail that third one, and basically the best way then to pass that one was I had to take them to Tableau conference where they are a little more relaxed on passing, letting you clear the exam. So I don't know how that goes back right now. So, and then it became, I figured out people are failing because I'm just kidding. They want to go to the conference now. So Tableau is a great community. I think it's fun to do that. Again, as I said, once you and these are not like examined online. I think you have to show up to a center. Right? Has anyone taken these exams yet? You took one, or you're directly going for the two? Okay. I highly recommend take the first one. At least you will. But if you have worked on Tableau, then there is no need. Okay. Okay, so that's that. What else I wanted to cover? So training, I told you where to train, told you where to get the certification from. One of the other tools that you should totally look at right now is Alteryx. This is another one. I'm going to show the Tableau public right now also. So Alteryx is another one. It's a different tool. It's just very advanced than Tableau Prep. Okay, so Tableau Prep is a competition to Alteryx. This one also will give you, if you do the student registration, will give you one 1 year free student license. So you should get that. And this also has the same model, right? So you get training, free training, community. Like if you, so.
And you're saying this is more powerful than Tableau?
No, this is a completely different thing. This is a ETL process. This is the prep, like preparing the data, right? And then from here, you can post the links to Tableau server, right? So that's that. And so Alteryx training. And that's again, classroom training, self-paced.
Like post Tableau?
Yeah, Alteryx data set. So after you do that, you can post it to, so this one here, on demand. Okay. So yeah, so you can go choose a lesson and go and do the whole Alteryx Academy. Go get started with Alteryx Academy, how to do it. So if you have, they give you like nice notes. Now, if you do these two and get certified, and they also have a certification somewhere here. If you get certified with this, I mean, I think you, and then you call me and you're not getting a job, then I will consider it my personal failure.
So you use Alteryx to post the data to Tableau.
Yes.
Like the API or something? Or what is
No, there is something called a Tableau extract. So posting Tableau extracts to Alteryx. So what it does is, yeah, Tableau extracts from. So there you go.
from Alteryx?
Alteryx. Yeah, I can't. I do this, but I can't really. I'll share it.
So why would you want to post Tableau extracts from Alteryx? Where would you be posting them?
Why would you want to post? Because let's say you. So in typically what happens in ERP systems or Salesforce, right? So I'm gonna clear this up. But, what happens is when you go in an organization, you will have various systems, right? So you will have a Workday or something like that for HR data, right? You have SAP, Oracle, Epic in healthcare, or XYZ ERP systems, right? And these have their data, which has finance data. So your GL accounting data, AP accounts payable data, AR accounts receivable data. It has your cost centers. Okay. So you have that. Then this will also have manufacturing if your company is into manufacturing, like aluminum and stuff. It has your supply chain data, right? Sometimes it's all in this ERP, or for manufacturing you will use a different module. For supply chain you will use another tool. For procurement you'll use another tool. Right? So you have, and contracts will use another one. So this is the data. Then your sales data is in Salesforce, right? Salesforce has your accounts, who do you work with, your opportunities, your what else? Leads, right? Your what else? Campaigns, yeah. So that's marketing, right?
Marketing,
yeah. So you have campaigns. Now you have all these data. So Tableau can connect to all these systems. And until Tableau Prep was released, there was nothing to combine all this data in Tableau. So Alteryx has a solution, right? So what you can do is you can connect to all these things as data sources, which Tableau also does. And then it kind of, you will have logic, right? You'll say, oh, let me see this employee, how many opportunities or leads this employee bought, how many of those became accounts, we have accounts, and how much money that brought to the company. So if you have that kind of question, you'll have all these data sets, you'll have to merge the information, you need to create all the stuff. And then finally, put it into a package of data set, right? That data set then becomes an extract, right? So you're taking that and then posting it on the Tableau server. Now you don't have to do it that way. In a lot of companies, what they will do is they will run ETL tools like Matillion. Matillion is an ETL tool. Informatica, depending on where you're going to post things, you will take that information and post it in the database itself. So, and then Tableau can connect to the database. Okay? There are various ways. Alteryx is just very powerful, given that now people can just, so anyway, so we'll get into details of how to do it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So now these two tools have been picking up rapidly. So is Matillion and stuff like that, which helps you build things. So so go ahead and open the Tableau. Okay, before we go, I want to show you. So there's also Tableau Public. I want you guys to be a little careful about what this is. So in an enterprise organization, you have three things, okay? So one is Tableau desktop, okay? Which is what you will have, okay, on your computer, which we have developed. Here we create visualizations. So if you're in a company, literally get a laptop with installed Tableau installed, and that is what we have, and it looks like this. So when you open it, this is Tableau desktop, and this is how it looks when it opens. So that's that. So here you go ahead and create your charts, so you can connect to a file, you can connect to servers, different kind of servers, you can get sample data sets, okay? So this is your Tableau desktop. This is also client, okay? Also called as Tableau client. Okay, and then you have a Tableau server, okay? Tableau. What is Tableau server? Tableau server is where you post your files. Okay, you will post the file, and you will create a portal. Okay, this portal, Tableau portal, has different folders called projects. You know, portal may have multiple sites. Sites are like, if I want to create a separate site for a finance department, then I can create a separate site, or I can create these projects or these folders called as. So, I'll show it at the end of the day how this happens. So anyway, so this is different sites or different projects, and in these you post your visualization. So whatever you develop here, you post here, and those become your dashboards, right? These are the dashboards. This is the same as dashboard, okay? Yeah. And then once it gets published, then you create security structure on your server such that only limited people in that particular department can see this. So if you have a sales organization, for example, and if I was a VP of sales and if I had multiple directors, then I should be able to see everybody's performance. But if you have a specific director, that director should be able to see only his performance and the people under him, and so on and so forth. He shouldn't be able to see what other directors. So that kind of security structure can also be put in place. Okay? So that is why you need a Tableau server. Separate costs. Company pays for a desktop license. When you go in, depending on how they are scheduled, they are either paying $800 a year for an employee to have a Tableau desktop license, or they have paid $2,000, and every year they're paying about $400 to keep that. So there are two models that they work on. Okay. Tableau server is a very expensive stuff. Okay. So you're paying anywhere between 50 to 350 to $500,000. So that's what you do with Tableau server. So this is Tableau. Right. Going here, before you go here, the other thing that I was interviewing someone the other day, and I asked him, and seemed like he had done the 8 hours of work, but I could tell that he hasn't done more than 8 hours, right? Because I asked him, so how do you publish your information in your organization? Because he said that he had worked on this thing in this company, and I'm like, so how do you publish it? He said, well, I go to Tableau Public and I publish it. I'm like, crap, because Tableau Public you shouldn't be publishing because it's your company data. So Tableau Public is open for everyone, right? So if you're working in the company, never publish anything to Tableau Public.
Seriously?
Yeah, he said it. And I was like, oh my God, you just wasted my 25 minutes. Because he answered all the questions right. Calculations and calculated field and LOD. So he had spent time in learning Tableau. But what I didn't like is he said that we used to publish this on Tableau Public. And I'm like, you're lying, right? I mean, that's done. Like, this interview is kind of over, right? So
You didn't realize what he was talking about.
well, yeah, he didn't realize what he was talking about. And he said it very confidently. So I'm like, if you can do that, I don't have time to see when we come to.
Once I spelled HIPAA wrong every time I had it on my resume.
Okay.
And then they corrected me that it was wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, so
It's really bad.
lesson there is don't. I was going to show you Tableau Public, but don't think that Tableau Public is something companies use. This is just for people to have fun, right? So this is where this is like a GitHub. This is like your portfolio. Like, you have different authors, and then you go in and people build. This is built using Tableau Desktop. Right? So if you create an account for Tableau, which you should, and then start publishing your visualizations, right? So you can click and move, and it will give you, oh, why is this like that? Let's zoom out. Okay, so yeah, you can, let me go to 75%. And then, you can look at it. I don't know if this is, but then they have created some excitement. So I definitely advise you to, all this is created using, so this got Viz of the Week, right? Garbage in the ocean. Once it loads, look how cool it is, must have used. So, and the cool stuff is you can download this workbook. Okay, so I can say download as a Tableau workbook. Okay, and now you can reverse engineer his stuff, right? You can go and look into what this guy has done. Okay, so that's something that once you finish the training, you can see how other people are building their business. Okay. And so that's that. And let's see. Okay, so this is that. And okay, so this person has probably built this. If you want to see this, you go to the sheet.
He built his own boat?
He probably did, yeah. Probably built his own boat and so on and so forth.
That was way too much time.
Yeah, people spend, I would say some of these visualizations may have taken them anywhere between 30. What? Yeah, he could have grabbed the boat. So this is just a pick, right? This pick is something that he has done, and then he has done this. This guy. See, remove from the dashboard. Okay, so that was one sheet, right? So he had built that sheet, and this is the moving sheet, and then he has locked it. I can't go see how that's below. Okay, so you can go and look at all these. I think he has hidden the sheets. Yeah, so everything is custom made. I've seen people create skyline of Dallas, skyline of San Francisco, and stuff like that. So Tableau Public has lots of cool visualizations, and you go to gallery and you will find lots of cool stuff here. Like look at these things. It takes patience, and this one. Coolest 6 nations, 5 decades of US crime. And so people do this and they really get the attention of Tableau. And then every year, what Tableau does is Tableau masters, right? So when you reach the top level of excellence in Tableau, you become a Zen master. Okay, and they handpick these people, the current Zen masters every year. They only have, I think, 30 or 40 Zen masters, and then you also have this Hall of Fame, which is like Hall of Fame. And I worked with this guy, Alan Walker. I worked with Brett Kava.
Really?
Yeah, because they were Slalom employees, my previous employer. So Alan and Britt were my co-workers. I mean,
They were like.
yeah, Alan's really like, he's ex-UK Army or something like that, and he used a lot of JavaScripts to do it. So he built like a Star Wars ship or something like that in Tableau, crazy stuff. He was working with T-Mobile and he did a lot of cool visualizations for them. Britt left Slalom and she is now with, I think she was with Facebook, and then I don't know where she's at right now. So they hired her, but super cool. I mean, I don't have patience. I think I lack the patience to create these. It takes long hours to go through those. But that's like, there is a lot to do, right? Okay, so let's get back to the basics and start from the basics. So first of all, when you go here, there are 2 ways to connect to your data set. If it's just a simple file, you could create connect to any of these files. Okay, so you just have to point to the file, and then that's it. Okay, if you're on a server, then you go and you can create to any of these servers. So Tableau keeps adding server connections. So if you have a SQL server, then you can go to SQL server, MongoDB, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Salesforce you can connect, SAP HANA you can connect to, Snowflake is a new database. And if you don't have anything, then you can get an ODBC or JDBC connection, which is connection details from your database administrator. And that's it. You get that and you can connect to that. Okay, so there are many.
You can connect to your API too, right?
You can connect to API negative, I think. You will have to do something more than that. That's where Tableau Prep or Alteryx will come in handy, because Alteryx can easily connect to API.
Okay.
That's what you do. But you don't have to connect to API. Why? Because if you have an API, what would you do? And you don't have Alteryx, what should you do? What would you do if you
Put into SQL.
put into SQL? Exactly. So if you have the API, you know how to read API using so many different ways. So you read the API using pandas or like, well, not pandas, Python or like something else, and then you push it to MongoDB or SQL, MySQL, or SQL Server or PostgreSQL, whatever you want, and then that's it. Then use Tableau on top of it. Okay, that's what you should.
To get it in from OwnBase into Tableau.
What do you mean?
And OwnBase doesn't want to give us direct connect. So we're gonna have to
So did you ask them for API?
yeah, they'll give us an API, but now we're trying to figure out how we want to load it.
So if you want to load the API, and if you have Microsoft SQL Server, then there's a tool called SSIS. And the person sitting next to you can tell you how to read API. Have you done APIs in SSIS? API calls? Not yet.
I mean, we can load it into the, I would
Yeah, then you put it into, what you need to do is you just have to put it into the SQL. Okay, always. Okay, any other questions? So this is the connection, right? How do you connect to it? Okay, I'm going to connect to an Excel file. You have that file. It's in your the activities first folder. I want you guys to open up Tableau and follow this with me. Okay, open up Tableau. Once you open up Tableau, go to Microsoft Excel and then navigate to where you just pull the resources. In the first activity, open this and click open. Okay.
I didn't today morning, but then I was saying maybe in the middle of the class.
I got another gift.
Okay, so get that and let me know when you're done.
Yeah, sure.
Which one?
Finish signing it.
Okay, so once you go in here, tap orders, so double click on orders. And so what you're doing is, if let me open the Excel file separately. So if I open this Excel, in this Excel, I have some information about my global superstore supplies, right? So I have people responsible for different regions, right? These are the people that are responsible for different regions. And then we have orders. What is order information? This is the order, order ID, order date, ship date. So when somebody ordered the stuff, when did you ship the stuff? What type of shipping was it, first class or not? And then customer ID. So you have customer information. Customer name is Aaron. Segment is consumer. Your different segments. You can have home office, corporate, home office, etc. Zip code. You have the city information. You have state, country, region, market. What market? Like Australia is in this company's Asia Pacific market. The product ID, right, is showing what the product is. Product ID, category, whether it's a furniture, whether it's a technology. So it seems like this company provides furniture, technology, office supplies, and stuff. May as well be Staples or Office Depot or something like that. Right? And then it's selling chairs, tables, sales amount, quantity, discount if there was a discount. So profit. So they are making profit on some things and loss on some things. Shipping, and then order priority. Was it high, low, critical? Okay. So this is our data set, and these are the people responsible for different regions. Okay. So what we are doing is we just connect it to the file, and if the file has multiple sheets, it will show you those sheets. Okay. So order sheet and people sheet is in the file, and so it's showing you that. If it was connected to a database, then it will show you multiple tables in that database. Okay, as simple as that. So now, what Tableau did is it connected and it brought in all this information. First thing I want to show you is whether the connection was live or extract. So when you say live, live is basically connecting it to in live, okay? Which means if you had a database, if you do a live connection, Tableau will query each time when you run a visualization to the database and bring in the latest information. If you did extract, then Tableau extracts the data and keeps it. So for example, if you added a new sale or new order ID to this database, imagine this was a database in Excel file, then Tableau will have to, will just have the information. If it was an extract, then the new orders won't show up. If it was live, then whatever is happening. But the disadvantage of live is that since it executes the query each time, it can be slower if you have not optimized your performance. So the dashboard will like spin in circles for a couple of seconds. So that's extract and live. When you clicked on orders, you will see that orders popped up here. So it starts to create joins on its own. I don't think there's a join between people. Oh, there is. So this is how it will join. It will auto recognize the join. So it created a join on the region between people and members. So now it's loading that. And it will create a join and it will, so you don't have to join anything personally. Okay. So, and if you want to drag this guy out, you just take that out. Okay. You just drag it out, drag it in. Double click will add it. It will find a common column name. If there is no common column name, then Tableau doesn't know. Okay. Filters is also another good thing to know. What you can do is, let's say, I'm going to create a visualization. They'll only look at, like, I don't care for sales in, let's say, Okay, order date. So I just want to look at the sales in a certain years. Okay, so I can say years. Okay, so it will give me these 4 information sets, right? 2012, 2013. So I don't want to get all the information loaded. I'll just do 2014 and 2015. And then if I say okay, then I'll say year of date keeps 2014 and 2015. Boom, it will refresh. And now I have less rows than I had earlier. Right? So sometimes you can also filter the data, which is very useful because then you're not caching in all the data all the time. So that's something that you need to know. And you can keep adding filters here if you like. I'm just going to remove this filter. And to remove the filter, you have to just click here on the filter and say remove. Click OK. It'll bring in all the data. Okay. So it's as you look here, right? So if it's row ID is a number, right? So you can also change the type right by clicking right here. Okay. You can move between the types. And whatever I'm saying right now, everything is on those free training videos. So when you go, you will have an understanding of it. Okay. So you can change anything you want. If you wanted this as a strictly number, I can try to do a number, but of course it's not a number, right? So I'll try to do it, but that's not how you should number this thing. And it takes time also to control all the columns. Okay. So this little toggle lets you, okay. So see, because I changed it to number, because it had characters, it will remove it, right? So I have to go back to string. The string, yes, it's a string. Okay. Order date, you have to have a date. If you want a date and time, then if it could be date and time. It kind of auto-identifies what the data is by looking at the data. It's smart enough. Okay. Is that clear? Yeah. And then what you do is you go to sheet, right? So you go to sheet 1. I want to start creating sheets. So there are 3 options down here. Okay. So you have ability to create sheets, you have ability to create dashboards, and you have ability to create stories. I'll give you an example of a story at some point later in the course, but this is what your sheet creation looks like, right? So the key things here that you need to know are like dimensions, right? So what is a dimension? Can anybody define what dimension is? No. Yeah, columns. So anything that's not a measure. Measure means calculated stuff, right? Numbers, right? Facts and dimensions. So dimension is anything that's an attribute about something. Okay. So for example, the attribute about orders is, what is an attribute of an order? Category, what's the order category, city, country, and all that stuff. This is not a measure. This is not a number. I mean, product ID could be a number. Postal code could be a number, but it's not a fact, which is not a amount sold or something like that. Right down here, the measures are like discount, profit, quantity, sales, shipping costs. So any numbers or any calculated fields that show an aggregation type of stuff is called a measure. Okay, so that's a key difference: dimension and a measure. You see, if you had more data sets here, like if I had added more data, then it will show all of that here. So that's that. Pages, filters, we can drag and drop columns, and I'll walk you through that. There are 5 things that you need to see: color, size, text, detail, and tooltip. And we'll go through. We have seen tooltip somewhere else, right? We looked at tooltip, same concept. Now, columns and rows. So for example, to build my visualizations is really simple. What I can do is I can click at anything. So for example, anything as in still need to be a little more cognizant of how I do it. So I do category, right? So I want categories in row. So you just basically take this and drag it and put it down here. It'll take a second. Okay, so there are 3 categories in this data set: furniture, office supplies, and technology. Okay, and now I can also pull in sales. Okay, if I pull in sales, it'll give me sum of sales. I can pull in sales up in category, up in columns, whatever you want. So you can switch things as you like. So if I did that, then it will show me like this. It's right now doing that. I can do stack charts. I can do pie chart by just doing it. Now, if I wanted to name these pie charts, all I have to do is pull category and put it on put it on label. As you put it on label, then it shows you what the category is and furnishes the name. So this is how you start building your visualizations. If you ever wanted to go back, you can keep going back. Now, that's one way of doing it. Other things that you can add to it is, let's say you can do country also. So if I added country, then it's now giving me furniture sales in each of the country, right? And so I can see which countries you have, and so on and so forth. Office supply in each of the countries, and so on and so forth. But I can also do this really quickly, and now I can see how the sales are moving in different countries. Actually, if I remove category, then it'll give you one map, and you can see how much sales has happened in each of the countries. Okay, so this was that easy. And so this show me is a helper. Anything that's grayed out, those charts you can't build using these number of variables, but anything that's not grayed out, you can use it. So it took me literally no time to build this, right? So I know that the most sales happen in the United States, and you can just hover over different countries to see how much sales are happening in those countries. Okay, so that was that easy. So you didn't have to do much, and you created a map. Okay, cool. Okay, so did you code anything, even a line? No. Is it worth $800 a year? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll let you guys play with this. I think that's our first exercise. Okay, and yeah, I'll ask you to build different visualizations. It's very powerful. So look at it and let me know. But you have to build it. Somebody has to build it, right? Somebody has to build it. Yeah, that person has to be that. And then this is not that easy. I mean, it's like when you go, because see, this is one of the things, right? So Tableau reps will come and they will pull like this Excel sheet, and they will just show it like in 5 seconds. Here you can build this, build that. But in the real world, there are so many challenges, right? Because your data is never clean, right? Your customers have duplicate values. Your zip codes are missing. Your country names are missing because somebody didn't enter it right. So they still need a lot of data scientists. I mean, that's what they pay for. It's not easy to say like, okay, well, Tableau will show this. I mean, if I was a Tableau salesman, it's easy to close the sale, but unless the executive knows the real challenges, right? So that's why you need data scientists to clean stuff, and then building this, and then creating and having it in a really nice looking dashboard is very challenging. Like you think it's easy. Scaling is difficult. People will use it on this computer, that computer, iPads, phones. So how do you scale it right? So that's also skill. It's an art. Really, it's a very difficult task. It takes 3-4 days to build a really good dashboard. I mean, you can build it in 1 day if you're a Zen master, right? But that means 8 hours of like working on it. Okay, so play with it. Let me know. Like right now, you see that Yes.
Automatically defaults that this is dimension, this is dimension.
As like algorithm written behind the scenes when the product is written to figure out like if you have words like cost, if you have words like definition of cost, or like and it is all numbers, discount, profit, quantity. You can actually define something and then make it a dimension, but then it goes like that's the value, right? Yeah. It is like you have to then say that it's Yes, I do. So, very good question. We'll ask, hey Neil, how do we know what charts to use, right? So I think I have suggested this guy, right? So this is the master of like data visualization who wrote what chart should be used, where should you, what kind of stuff should be used. He has 4 books, these 4 books. All 4 of them I've read the visual explanation many times. The visual display of quantitative information is also very good. So these 2 books will tell you how to use what chart, when to use what chart, why not use pie chart, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I can flag the website. I think the books in all cost $300 some, $350 maybe. Again, you don't have to get all 4. And then he does come and do the talk, and you don't have to do the talk. So this 1-day course I attended once. I think the books are included. Anyway, so the books are probably, yeah, the visual display of quantitative information, $42, and paperback is $32. So I would recommend getting that. So it will give you an idea of how you display information. Yeah. So that's one. Other thing is Tableau, I think, has a lot of resources. Tableau, when to use what chart, okay? And yeah, here you go. A guide to data visualization, okay? So if you don't want to spend $50, you have this white paper. Trace is white. I have some other, okay, here you go. Okay. So, see? Let me see. Yep, this is a good one. This is a good one. So I think you need to log. I just logged in using my work account, but you can log in. And so this is a good way of knowing. In fact, when you actually go through the training of that 8-hour training, it will talk to you about what you should do. But this is really good white paper on when to use what and all that stuff. This stuff is so much to, there's so much to learn. I would say, like, you know. So that's that. Yeah, this is a good thing. How does one become a Tableau Zen master? It's very difficult to become a Tableau Zen master. I've seen Tableau Zen masters charge up to $1,000 an hour. $1,000 an hour. Yeah. So you can make $2 million if you make yearly if you become a Tableau Zen master. Yeah. Huh?
It's worth it.
Yeah, like
That's what they do. Like just solving a problem, right?
they solve a problem, but they sit and they create a dashboard that will go to the CEO. Yeah.
So it is all about
Using-
trial and error, right? We'll have to do, okay, this looks good.
No, so that's the key, right? So Tableau, if you that when I said like Tableau, you need to like just Tableau is not important. Like it's good, but the ability to use D3 within Tableau, right? So you can do D3 within Tableau, D3 with Tableau. This is what you need to learn. All these things, like so, this how to integrate D3 in Tableau, right? So Brit will do like D3 and Tableau or JavaScript and Tableau. So there's almost nothing that cannot be achieved using it. As I said, you can build ship models like Dallas Skylines, and then you have to work with the right consulting firm. Of course, the consulting firm can get $1,000 and then you'll get like $10 an hour.
Do people who have these certifications, like hand certifications, have you seen people who do freelancing and stuff?
Oh yeah, I think most of these. So when you become I'm just not.
Like part-time, right? I mean, in the weekends you can,
Yeah.
you can get things.
Yeah.
You can get it for it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you have to.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You can do weekend stuff. You can you can get some projects, but it's a full-time job. I mean, it's not easy. Like nothing's easy, right? Like even if you're like an Instagram celebrity, you think that their life is easy, but they have to they have to do stuff all day to kind of keep their viewership up and go. But there's no free lunch, right, Marcus? Is there a free lunch? No. Yeah. So yeah. So you gotta maintain your brand, right? So anyways, I don't want to get into philosophical stuff while Marcus is in the room, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, but what the purpose of this introduction was to get you guys excited, start learning Tableau, and then we'll go through the exercises that we have. But I want to challenge you guys to go outside of the box and start thinking, start the training, all of it. Okay. Any other questions? I'm gonna switch this off.